his playing days till he retired, he typified what being a rebel meant. The story of Jerry Tarkanian is that of a trendsetter, a barrier breaker, a true rebel. Not many know he started off as a player, which led to his desire to coach.
I played all the time. I played in high school and junior college and at Fresno State, and I just wanted to play. That's all. I knew I wanted to be a coach, but that was it. Probably when I was a sophomore in high school.
The coach that had the biggest influence on him also is considered to be one of the most influential men to basketball.
Pete Newell was at Cal Berkeley at the time. He was probably somebody I admired a lot.
When Tark came to UNLV, the university was only 17 years old and had little school spirit.
We didn't have a fight song when we came here. Our band director would come on and play On Wisconsin. That was his favorite song, I think.
That's what they played. So one of the boosters asked somebody to write a fight song for us, and they did. They wrote one for us.
First year we went to the Final Four, 77. We didn't have we didn't take our band with us. We were the only team at that point who didn't have their band at the Final Four.
One of the most effective defensive schemes Tark used wasn't implemented until late in his coaching career.
We didn't play the amoeba hardly at all until 1990, and then we played it against Duke in the national championship game, and it worked well. We got a lot of publicity on it, but we were not a zone team. We were a man-to-man team.
While the public remembers Tark most for being a rebel off the court, his players remember him fondly for being a rebel in the locker room.
He would find something that we would do wrong, and me and Larry had our lockers against, across from one another. The chalkboard is like right here, and he used to come in, and we can tell he's looking up and down at each and every guy as he go, pissed off, really upset about the way we were playing, defensively most likely. And he would grab the chalk and he'd start shaking it. And he would just slam it up against the blackboard. He did it all the time when we didn't play well. It wasn't very often, but sometimes we just didn't play up to his standards. But after the clock ticks, it's time to go back on the floor, he needed to have some chalk to outline and tell us what we need to do for the second half to blow the guys out. And he had no chalk, and then he's like, "Where's the chalk?" He's like, "Where's the chalk?"
His locker room antics paid off throughout his coaching tenure, starting with the Hardaway 8 team in 1977, which put UNLV on the map, led by Robert Smith and the late Glenn Godrzic. But how does Tark think the 77 team matches up to the 1990 championship team?
No, I really could say. I mean, they were two real good teams. They were, probably our 90 team was probably more sound. We were basically a man-to-man team. We pressed the whole game. We shot the ball quickly. It wasn't a team that. It was pretty much a unique team. We played one defense, and we played it the whole season.
The 1991 team had a 28 points per game victory margin, but in the Final Four, it ended a much different way than the 1990 championship team.
We didn't have a real good game. Duke had a great game, and it was a heartbreaking loss.
The loss was the beginning of the end for Tark at UNLV, starting with a photo of UNLV players and a man known as the Fixer that made national headlines.
That disappointed me because we didn't know who this fellow was from New York. He came out here and introduced himself to me. He said he was in the commodities business, and he was Coach Moses Scurry back in New York, and he was a friend of Moses and his family, and he seemed like a nice guy. And then the guy wrote a big article in the Dallas newspaper about him and exposed everything about him. And from that point on, I told the guys to stay away from him. And nobody knows when that picture was taken. The kids all swear that it was taken before we knew who he was.
James Jones, who had since left UNLV at the time of the photo's release, couldn't believe what he saw.
I just said, oh boy, here it comes. And I know they're going to take and run with that, meaning the NCAA.
So, your thoughts, I guess your inclinations when that photo came out, you thought Tark might have played his last game or coached his last game with UNLV?
I didn't think he was going to be his last game. I thought it was one more thing that was going to be misconstrued, and he was going to, have to answer to it. But I had no idea that, President Maxim was behind the whole thing to try to shut down a program that was bringing publicity to the school, money to the school, and putting it nationally on the map. I would never think a president would be trying to destroy something like that.
Maxim's effort to get rid of Tarkanian culminated in practices being taped, which left most of the players in disbelief, and 1992 being Tarkanian's last season at UNLV.
Obviously nobody likes to have someone come in the gym and videotape a practice. We didn't even know he had anybody there. There was a lot of things that didn't go well during that period of time.
I didn't trust him. I mean, that smile and how he used to try to talk to me like he knew me personally. My coaches didn't talk to me the way he tried to, with that smile and how you doing. It was just fake.
Tarkanian almost left UNLV in 1977 for the NBA, but turned down the Los Angeles Lakers' offer as head coach.
UNLV stood by me during my battle with the NC2A, and when it looked like I was going to take the Lakers job, I had several of the boosters came by and they told me it really wasn't the right time.
After leaving UNLV, Tarkanian decided to give the NBA shot with the San Antonio Spurs.
I had to hassle because I wanted to bring some of the people in to play for me. I thought we needed a point guard, and I never had one. I needed a power forward, and I battled for a long time to get one. And then we got J.R. Reed, a big kid from North Carolina. We got him, and just about time we got him was when I had the problem with the owner, so it didn't last long.
After being fired by the Spurs, he went back into the college coaching ranks and decided to call it a career after the 2002 season. With all the issues Tarkanian had with the NCAA, does he think they've gotten any better since his retirement?
I think they've gotten better.
Really?
Yeah, they've got some big schools on probation, which they never did before.
Today's violations have a lot to do with paying student athletes, which a lot of people are split on.
I think that'd be a mistake. The thing that makes the college game good is, the kids are going to school, they're on full scholarship, all their expenses are paid. I like the fact that they're getting an additional stipend now if they can show a need. So I think the kids are getting paid. Right now they're living comfortably. They're doing a good job.
His former players have nothing but good things to say about Tark.
I was really fortunate to be able to come to UNLV, to play for Coach Tark, to be part of 2 Final Four teams, to win a national championship, and even more important, he was the one who gave me my first start in coaching. And so he was a terrific coach and a mentor for me, and just very fortunate to have had that experience.
Coach was one of the greatest coaches I ever coached me, that ever played for, and also a very loyal person. I mean, to anybody that come and play for UNLV, know that Coach Tark had your back no matter what, good or bad, he had your back.
David Rice and Stacey Augman, former teammates in the 1990 championship team, are coaches of the current Rebel squad and implement Tarkanian's teachings into how they coach.
I think all of us as coaches are really a compilation of the coaches that we've played for and worked with, and certainly Coach's aggressive man-to-man defensive style and offensive transition are certainly philosophies that we try to play with our own team.
Definitely. I'm definitely implementing and working hard, overcomes everything.
Tarkanian couldn't have imagined that two of his former players are leading the Rebels back to their glory days.
I like the job that Dave's doing and Stacey's doing. They're doing a great job.
Yeah.
They got the team playing well. They're playing hard. He's got some good recruits coming in. He's going to do a real good job.
One thing is for sure, although many might try to imitate the Shark, no one will ever duplicate him.
No. He has his own unique style, from the towel biting, his style of play, how he lets you freelance on offense but play team concept at the same time, and then the defense. No one will ever be like Coach Tark.